What's going on, everybody? My name's Eddie.
I'm Joe.
I'm Jake.
Corey.
And we have
I'm Scott.
We have our leader, Scott, of the INRS League. Bear with us. This is our first live video. Just a bunch of cornballs who think that, hey, why not we give back and try the podcast this year? I'm probably one of the most chattiest lap cars you'll find. So we said, why not? Why not start a channel? Why not get everyone involved in the INRS community? Hopefully this is going to be the home of the 2026 INRS podcast. We're going to try to host these weekly. We're going to try to do week reviews of each race in the INRS. We're going to try to hit Cup, O'Reilly, and the Truck Series. So we're going to try to do them every week. You know, we're going to have the three of these lucky dogs, maybe host them if I'm not going to be able there. We're going to do INRS points updates. We're going to make sure everyone's informed of the points. New format, so points are going to matter quite significantly. We're also going to try to throw in paints of the week throughout the three series. I'm a big paints guy. I'd rather spend 2 hours working on a paint to run 25th instead of actually practice and try to get the top 15. That's just me, you know. Pictures look nice when you're on the track. You know, they don't know how fast you're going in the pictures, so it doesn't matter. Now, what's our old slogan? Can't
Look
be
pro,
fast,
go
go
slow.
fast. Yeah, look pro, go slow. That was our motocross slogan. So each week we're going to try to have a new guest. We're going to try to get a majority of the Cup Series drivers in here, learn a little bit more about them, get their input on the real Cup season and then the INRS Cup season, how their season's going, their predictions of what's going on. Just try to get everyone involved and get everyone some screen time. So if you feel free to if you stream, drop your link in the comments or our channel. We'll try to help you promote there. We're going to also show you guys our broadcast, the IWN Broadcast Network. They host all of our races every Thursday nights. They'll be broadcasted live. So you can, if you're not racing, go on the broadcast, leave some comments. But right now, I'm going to turn it over to our league owner. The man of the hour is Scott. You want to introduce yourself and give us a rundown on the league?
Yeah, man, appreciate that. Just couldn't do any of this, without you guys, and appreciate you guys jumping on to doing the podcast. That was something that, I have about an hour drive every day, and it was really cool to listen to the last, two versions that we had. So I feel like this version is going to be really cool. So you can see my little buddy right here. His name's Lane. He loves Chase Elliott, so I've kind of converted him to that. But yeah, absolutely.
He's a smart kid.
Yeah,
Smart
he
kid.
sure is. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Lane, you know, he knows.
That's right.
So we're excited to host it for you. I think this is our third year entering INRS. This is probably one. I don't want to speak for all the other lucky dogs, but I feel like this is it was our first real league. You know, we did all the official races. We know how official races go, but this was our first real league that took us in. You know, we made friends. We all learned, and some reason, you know, people might still like us. I don't know. Maybe they don't like Jake. I don't know.
Yeah,
Defending
I think everybody likes you
2025
guys.
NRS champion. You know, Jake.
Yeah, with
we'll
the
give him
trophy,
flowers.
with,
You know.
with the trophy back there. Yeah,
Had to keep that in
we see
there.
it. We see it.
Yep. So
So my first question: everybody murders your last name. So is it Muso? Is it Musal? What is it? Tell us.
So from what we learned from our father, it's Moose O. So like
Muso.
the animal moose with the O at the end. So some of our nicknames are Moose. It's not because of any of our physical features. It's not because we're a brunt force, anything like that. We don't go hunt. It's just the way our last name's pronounced. So if you guys didn't know, I'm actually the older brother. I'm not their triplet. I'm the older brother, Eddie, and then Joe and Jake. They are twins. Down to the last eyebrow hair, they are twins.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah. So just a heads up too, we had a situation once or twice
Mm.
last year that if Jake somehow ruffles your feather, please check the number before you dump Joe.
Yeah,
I think it
please.
happened once or twice at Bristol that Jake ruffled some feathers. Joe's running a different colored car, but he got, well, I thought you were the other one. So yeah, one's number 28, one's number 25. So just before you want to take one of them out, make sure it's the right one.
Yeah, and if you do
Um,
ruffle some feathers, you're gonna hear from the 26.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I raised my hand. I heard.
I am witty and chatty, but I yeah, like I said before, I'm probably the most chattiest lap car you'll find. But also give it back. I'm all fun and game. I know I know my place. Not to brag, but in Martinsville, I was the 11-time Lucky Dog champion. So I take the Lucky Dog very seriously. So
Oh,
it's all
that's
fun,
funny.
it's all heated competition, but nothing too personal.
Absolutely.
So
Well, guys,
but
welcome
yeah.
to welcome to season 5. So we started the league. Just a little background. 2022. Of course, most of everybody knows Josh. He's my brother-in-law. We started the league together along with another fella that's been out, for quite a while. But this is a lot of work behind the scenes, and you guys will see. Obviously, just doing the podcast, it's a ton of work, and we all do it, for free because we love doing it. It's so fun. It's a very expensive and time consuming hobby for sure, right? But 2020 is when we kind of jumped on iRacing, and we jumped in a league in 2021, and we enjoyed it, but it was like, man, we could do so much better. And then we jumped in another little league that was, I want to say, maybe 5 months of racing, 4 months of racing, and they were really well developed. And we took a lot of their information and made it our own. And we kind of learn what not to do. Obviously we're, growing pains, and we're going to learn from our mistakes, and we're still going to make mistakes. We're human. But we
Mhm,
try our best just to keep it as much like the NASCAR formatted as we can, even though a lot of people, when you say this, they get mad at you when you're sim racers, but it is a game, right? We try to treat it like it's not, but at the end of the day, we're confined by the rules and the metrics of the game. So there are some things we can change, which we did. We'll get to that here in a moment with some rules changes and stuff like that. But you know, we're just here to have fun. We're here to pretend we're NASCAR drivers, even though we're not. Maybe Jake is, but he's the champion. So,
yeah,
but we're all
unfortunately,
here to have
everyone.
fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone. Season 2 of the Ram TV show to run the Ram or whatever it's called. It's not going to be casting from iRacing, so it's going to be real life racers. So,
True
but
that.
yeah, if you want to dive into the INRS stuff and rules and updates, and we're excited for the season, so let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I wrote a couple of things down, a couple of little stats real quick. So, we actually still have a few of our original drivers. So, of course, myself, Josh, Tony, believe it or not, was one of the original drivers, and Vince Burns.
Mm.
So, looking back in the stats, I myself have the most career starts in the INRS. And only reason why is you guys are creeping up on us because of the other series, right? But
Mm.
I had 201 starts. Tony has 200. After that, you got Mr. Corey Enos with 187. Mr.
Dang.
Corey, good job there. Yeah.
Yeah, wow,
Joe, you got 184, and then Wenzel's 164. So
nice.
creeping up, and again, showing up for the races, that adds up quick. So I'm sure I'm going to get passed for that pretty quickly. Jumping a couple of rule changes, kind of moving around a little bit. I did change the number of entries for Cup to 43. I know last year we had 50
Mhm,
people jump in, and we sent a few home for a few weeks. But the more I thought about it, NASCAR keeps kind of expanding that rule, and forever and ever it was 43, right? So I just said, you know what, let's go to the 43, and if we have 45 people show up, then only two are going to go home versus five.
mhm,
Obviously, we're still recruiting. We do have the 32 charters in place right now, so we do have some open spots still available. Um, So hey, any of your friends, family, neighbors, people you've raced with before, wanting to race, and there's their stats are good. Hey, we're looking. Come on, race with us. Truck series is almost full. I think we've got 32, and then we were going to have 30. Well, we I think we're going to do 40 total. But and a lot of people know. Just kind of educate the people that maybe have just jumped into the league and don't understand how that works. Is hey, we all, well, not all of us, but most of us work every day, right?
Hmm.
We go on vacations. We have sports events for our children. We go to the races. Every
Yeah.
fall Bristol, I miss. So there's going to be times that life gets in the way. So we try to put enough entries in to where we can still have a pretty full field. Um, we don't want to fill it with people that are going to wreck good people and stuff like that. But we're looking for good drivers, and and honestly, we've picked up quite a few. So there's going to be some good competition this season, and obviously we'll talk about that too. But a couple of rule changes real quick just to jump in. Cautions. I know there was a few people that had mentioned, hey, in NASCAR, single, crashes, it's a caution if it's in certain spots, and sometimes it's not in iRacing, and I understand that. So
Hmm.
we're gonna do caution wise, we're gonna be a little bit more like NASCAR. Now, if you got the same car spinning out, obviously that's something that we're gonna watch and we're gonna police. And if somebody's throwing a caution or calling for a caution and it shouldn't be a caution, then there's going to be some penalties. That is in the rule book. So um, speeding, this is a big change. Speeding in the pits, NASCAR, it's an EOL, right? And in iRacing, it is either a pass through, right? Or
think it's a
if
40-second hold.
yeah, if it's exceed, if
Mm.
it's I think exceeding penalty or speeding or whatever. There's two different ones. Then it is a hold. So we're gonna, we changed that. It's gonna be an EOL. So anybody gets a speeding penalty, call it out. We're gonna clear it and give you an EOL. Same thing for the passing under yellow. I know my buddy Mr. Enos over here. Unfortunately, we and it hurt him. I think in some of the championship races and stuff like that. But in some situations the rules are the rules, and we have to look at the videos, and it sucks. I hate it, and I hated that rule,
Mm.
so we changed it. If you get a passing under yellow, we're going to clear it and we're going to give you an EOL, because that's exactly what NASCAR does.
Right, right.
And
Yep.
really, NASCAR shouts down to you and says, hey, you're supposed to be behind this car. So it shows you on the dash, but if you enter the pits at the same time that another car is going past you, or you're going, blah blah blah, it's a game, right? There's
Hmm.
flaws. So we changed that
Uh,
rule. I know that's going to make a lot of people happy. We're going to be clearing quite a few, flags, but we're also going to review them. So that's the other thing. We're going to make it
Right,
fair.
right.
yeah, and I think it put you guys in a hard spot because obviously us drivers, if we feel like we're wronged, we'll let you know. But I mean, this is no live race control. I mean, you're racing right there. You're doing your pit strategy. You're on pace laps. Every time someone's asking for a clear, I just imagine you like, typing and getting ready to go. And here I'm just like going like that on the restart while you're doing other things. So I think that's one thing that I feel like not a lot of people realize, that there is no live race control. There are going to be things that are going to be missed. I do like that you guys try to keep it authentic as possible, and things with iRacing, what they deem as a caution and what's not. I mean, it's sort of out of our control, but I think it's just easier. Like, hey, if iRacing's going to throw the yellow, it is what it is. I mean, you're in the middle of the race. No, Tony Japs, he's an admin. He's racing too. Mike, he's racing, and Jordan Wenzel. So I think that's a big thing to point out, that, yeah, there's going to be flaws and stuff, but like you said, it's a game. So there's going to be errors, there's going to be human errors, and you guys can't watch everything and everyone at the same time because you guys are racing too. So just wanted to point that out for everyone before they get too all up in arms early this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the goal. We, like you mentioned to start with, this INRS, which is, I didn't realize that we were the first league that you guys ran in.
Hmm.
Um, we learned a lot. Like I said earlier, of what not to do and what to change. So every year we change the rule book. We change, we listen, we try to make it fun. That's what we're here to do, right? We're here to race. We all love the race, and we want to have fun. I mean, sometimes even the cup guys, they may not have the best of days, and they get out of the car and they stick a microphone right in their face, and you're going to hear something. We're hoping that the broadcasters are going to start doing a little bit of that too. I've mentioned that
Yeah.
to them, and I know there's been some suggestions of that. So I think it would be really cool in the broadcast if something happens to somebody. Hey, let's stick a microphone in their face. Let's see what
Yeah.
happened.
Who doesn't
And
love a live pot stirring?
yeah, and go back and ask hey, this guy said you did this. Did you do that? Did you feel like it? Let's stir that
A
pot a
little
little.
Tony Stewart
To me
moment.
that makes
Yeah.
it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. But yeah, it was one of our first leagues in here, and like we learned a lot. But I think one of the things that I noticed each year that yeah, there's going to be some drivers, there are going to be some incidences where like too many cautions or anything like that. And I think one of the biggest changes that you guys listened to us, you saw what was going on, you gave us a warning. We didn't listen to the warning before you know it, we lost the fast pairs. But I think that was such a huge move because after that, it cleaned it right up. So you guys went through the progression. You listened, you acted, and then we couldn't control it. And then, hey, you brought it to something better where it made it the racing better for anyone, in my opinion, um, going forward. So yeah, I commend you guys doing that throughout the year. Like you guys are racers, but you guys are rating it, listening, and everything like that. So taking it serious is something good for the future drivers if you're looking for a league. It might be like he said, a few weeks you might get into some accidents, stuff like that, but they are quick to resolve some issues. So it's not a grueling long season unless you're Joe Musso. He is a car magnet. He could be just driving around and
Yeah.
all rainbows and sunshines, and he'll find the wreck. So
Yeah. It happens to the best of us for sure.
he's got that Ryan
Um,
Blaney luck.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Couple other little changes here, and I kind of saved some of the best for last. So going real quick back to the trucks. There's a lot of people that wanted the truck races to be a little longer, so we extended those. Um, we also added a set of tires to the trucks and the Xfinity or the O'Reilly. I keep saying Xfinity. I'm sure we all will. We'll keep saying it. Probably till next year. So that's going to help those guys out a little bit as well. And the biggest change, super speedways, especially in Cup, we didn't really have that much issue in trucks. Maybe O'Reilly, maybe a couple of tracks, but with the Cup, it's always trying to save fuel for the
Oh,
for the stage. So the good thing is going forward, we got 100% fuel at all the super speedway tracks. We're going to have a full tank of gas, and that's going to get us to the stage. And then after that, hey, there's still going to be some strategy, but at least
hmm
we know we're not going to have to be giving EOLs and figuring out who's driving up and passing the pace car by a quarter lap, and
hmm
that's just not allowed. We changed that rule as well. That will be a penalty, so that's not allowed anymore. So
yeah,
again,
that's huge. That's huge.
yeah, just trying to be fair. And all these changes are fair, and again, like you said, the fast repair thing. Haven't heard anything about the fast repair. For the
No,
first couple of seasons, there was people that would not join without it. And at first we were like, let's just do it without the fast repair. I mean, if we're going to be like NASCAR, who the heck can go in the pits after a wreck and come out with a brand new
yeah,
car,
and win the race,
yeah,
Yeah, and win the race.
Yeah.
The other thing I wish, we could change is the fact when you get into an accident. Now we've all benefited from it, but when you get into an accident, you get to go right back and get in your spot. I hate that. There's
mm,
no way we can police that.
yeah,
I wish there was. It probably could be a way, but it would be very difficult. But if there's one rule that in the future that we could change to make things better, that would be one. Just don't feel like if you wreck, spin out, whatever, you should not be able to get your spot back. You should have
yeah,
to go to the rear.
Right.
yeah. But no, that's huge with the cup, the fuel link. That's big, and I don't know if we made it clear, but the INRS, they do have the 3 series full time. You got the truck, O'Reilly, and the cup. All can still join. Really good competition in the trucks and O'Reilly. I mean, we had some. I think one team really dominated in the trucks last year. I don't know the name off the top. I don't want to be disrespectful, but we called them the fire truck cars. or fire trucks. So they had some killer paint schemes. And then on the O'Reilly series, we had a lot of good solid drivers there. So even if you don't see it broadcasted, we do have a lot of good strong competition in the truck and series. Cup series, off the top of my head, I don't know. I want to say it ranges. What would you say? Maybe 25 to 3,000 strength of field, somewhere right around there. And
Yeah,
then
that sounds about
obviously,
right. We've
yeah,
added a couple of guys. I think there's a couple of guys that are right around 5,500, 5,700.
Oof.
yeah,
So it might tweak up just a little bit. Of course, I
yeah.
drag that down. I'm just barely making it, right? I'm just
Hey,
barely
I don't
making it
have
in.
I don't have my A class. I lost it doing Talladega on officials, but I got to get that backed up. And then yeah, everyone they always wait to see when Jordan Booth is coming around. Then that strength of field really gets up there. But we love to have him. So once in a while when you see him, if you're racing, just watch him. You'll learn something. So he's fun to have. But yeah, really excited. More back to you. I got my notes down here. That's why I keep looking left. With the league, I know you work at a dealership, right? So you're involved in cars. Have you been involved in cars most of your life?
You know, um, I actually was going to go to the Air Force and was going to work on cars. I
Oh,
did like 4 years of auto mechanics in high school. We had a garage and auto tech is what it was called. Loved cars, right? Worked on cars
hmm
as a teenager and just got away from them, and somehow or another it just drug me back. So 15 years. I've been in the car dealership world, selling cars, and I'm the general manager of Van York Nissan in High Point now, so run the store. So I have my hand in a little bit of everything. So sometimes I like to go back there and play around with the cars, and but of course we get to sell and meet all the customers and stuff like that. But racing wise, I mean, I've ever since I was a little kid, man, I was Darrell Waltrip fan. Um, and then of course he retires. Then I was anybody but Earnhardt. Until of course
All right.
he passed away. Today was the anniversary of his death, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
you know,
25 years. Wild.
yeah, I know it. Just didn't care about the guy until he passed away, and then had so much respect for him. I mean, how could you
hmm
not? Same with like the Biff. I didn't, I mean, knew who he was, but and followed him and all his stuff. So hated to see that happen. But the
hmm
racing community comes together, even if it's just fans or sim racers or whatever, when something like that happens. So it's super sad. But anyway, I pulled for anybody but Earnhardt, right? Until these two guys came, one by the name of Jimmy Johnson, the
mm
other by the name of Ryan Newman. And I said, I cannot pull for Jeff Gordon's teammate. So I chose
Uh,
Ryan Newman. And I was a Newman fan until he
yeah, the
retired.
Rocket.
Hate he didn't win the championship the year. He should have won, backburn it. But anyway, and been a Chase Elliott fan since he retired. So you know that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Well, we got 3 Chase fans right now, so Joe and Jake are outnumbered. I like to hear that. So yeah,
finally,
that's cool.
we
And
get rid of
you
all this
mentioned,
Penske stuff.
oh
I don't
gosh,
know,
yeah,
man.
yeah. See you guys. You don't have Phoenix to rely on each year anymore.
Ooh. Now
That's
we
okay. That's
like
okay.
Yeah,
Blaney. We like Blaney. That's fine.
Right.
yeah. We like Blaney. We like
Hey,
Blaney.
Blaney almost won Homestead, It's just Tyler Reddick
Yeah,
on that high line, yeah.
yeah.
More
Bunch
like
of
Lincoln and
almost.
Lock. So
You had to give it a look out. I don't. Jeez. But yeah, you said that you go to Bristol every fall. So is that safe to say that that's your favorite track and the race you most look forward to each year?
Yeah, that one in Martinsville. I live right outside of Winston Salem, so obviously we got the Clash coming. If it's going to happen, we're going to figure it out. Josh and I will be at that. We got tickets. It's literally 17 minutes from our house.
Oh
Bowman
wow.
Gray. So, but where I live right at the foot of Hanging Rock, which is a little mountain range. But I'm
Mhm.
45 minutes from Martinsville, and
Ooh.
then we're about 3 hours from Bristol. So, the
Oh,
fall race we go and
great.
camp every year, but in a perfect spot to where we go to Wilkesboro, and I mean we go to all the local races. Just been a fan forever, man. But yeah, Bristol. Hey, I love Bristol. Bristol is such anybody that's never been there. The first time you go, you're to me, in my opinion, you're hooked. It's just the
Yeah,
greatest racetrack ever.
we went to Martinsville for the first time 2 years ago, and dying back.
Yeah, the Blaney win.
Yeah, and he beat Chase in front of us.
While we're on this topic,
Ah,
you live in a fantastic area for racing, obviously.
Oh yeah.
What tracks have you been to, and is there any that's on your bucket list?
well, let's see. The furthest track I've been to is Dega. Went there 2023. Um, a guy that I used to work with, his uncle owns a dealership in Virginia where Liberty University is. So they got us pit passes, and we got to sit on the pit box for William Byron. Got to meet him, take pictures with him, and all that. That was the second time I had been in the pits. The other time was in Martinsville. That's the only other time. But that's a really cool little thing. If you've never did that, do it. It's definitely something you should do. But as a matter of fact, we planned middle of last year. My family wanted to go to Disney, and I've been saying no. We've been twice in our lifetime, and I told him, I said, look, the only way we're going to go to Disney is if we go in February, and I'm going to the Daytona 500. Well, we planned it back in June. So this year I will be going to the Daytona 500. So
Oh,
it'll
that's
be the
awesome.
first time ever.
That is awesome.
Cannot wait. So excited. We're leaving Friday. So I'm hoping to actually go to the O'Reilly race as well. So we'll see how that works. And I'm just going to go and just sit down in the chicken bone section. It's like $40 for a ticket for general admission. The rest of the tickets you got to buy, and but I paid attention to that, and hopefully they won't sell out. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it, but hey, I could probably walk in and grab a ticket. So really looking forward to that. That is going to be awesome. But I do have when we go to Bristol, we camp, of course. We have a travel trailer, so my plan is in the future to go to every racetrack that I can drive to. We're gonna when I retire, which is still quite a ways to go. Got about 20 years for that. So do the math, and you figure out all the gray. But yeah, I'm gonna go to every track. That's my bucket list right there. Is every track I haven't been to. I want to go to at least one track and say, hey, I checked all the boxes.
I like it. That's a good goal.
That's cool. That's exciting. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll switch up to one more thing that I want to talk to about the INRS stuff is that the IWM Broadcast Network, they are updating their graphics. They gave us a sneak preview, and I think that's really, really cool. So they've always been great. I don't know how many years they've been broadcasting the league, but they do a great job. They're gonna update the graphics. They're putting more effort into it to really make it a nice, clean cut show. So that's gonna be exciting. So pumped for that. How long have they been broadcasting INRS?
I believe this is our third year. I would have to look back. When we first started, we didn't broadcast, and a lot of people, wanted the broadcasting. So we kind of went through a different, couple of companies, and IWM. When we hooked up with them, I mean, they have their own league. You know what I'm saying? And it's something for I forget
Something for
exactly
The
what it's.
troops,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's troop. Yeah, tech for troops. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. So what they do is they gather up any old cell phones you have, and then they send them to some company, or maybe it's their company, and then they send them overseas or wherever there's troops, and that way they can turn them on and give them a phone to use.
That's cool.
That's
I guess
cool.
for whatever the service is at that country or whatever. I have no clue how that works, but that Tech for Troops is what their league is called, and that's all they were doing is just broadcasting their own league. And we just happened to reach out to them. Josh did a really good job and just said, well, hey, what would y'all charge us to broadcast ours? So and I mean, again, if you've seen a broadcast, they're very professional. They do a great job. Every
Yes.
once in a while, just like the professional, broadcasters, they may get a name wrong here or there. It's going to happen. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, they do a great job. So still work in progress on getting back to the cautions. But I know there's been a couple of people that have complained about that in the past. But I mean, it's so hard with all the buttons that they have to press and the replays that they have to get staged, but then at the same time they're paying attention to how many it is to go. And I mean, it's a lot
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do it. I've
Yeah.
tried it. We had even dabbled and thought about trying to do our own broadcasting. There's no way in the world I could do it. No way. It is too much.
No,
Too much.
definitely a lot behind the scenes, but yeah, they do a great job. Um, I do think they do a great job trying to get everyone involved, go throughout the field, show the replays. So with the new graphics, I think that's going to be just the tip of the hat. All of us racers, especially the season long guys, like this is their main focus. This is their season. Like, yeah, you want to be on TV, even if it's YouTube. They I'll as soon as we get done with the race, actually while I'm racing, I have the broadcast up. I have the broadcast up. I have Corey's stream, and then I'm trying to race. So as soon as I get done with the race, I talk to the girlfriend. I make sure the dog's taken out. Then I go sit on the couch and I watch the race that I just raced. So it's definitely exciting. So I'm glad they're good partners to have. Before we jump into anything more, I just want to see if Joe and Jake, if you guys have anything for Scott personal wise, or we found out his driver, his track, where he's from, his cars. Um, I know you guys aren't probably too happy that he's a Chase fan, but you guys
Yeah,
got
and that's
anything
That's all
for him,
right.
or yeah, or should we just dive into the new format for INRS?
I'd say we dive into the new format.
Dive in. All right, so it's back. It's the Chase. 10 races. That's all it's going to come down to is 10 races, pretty much the final 10 races. Big change up from the playoffs. I think it's going to bring better and clean racing. Um, Big points days are huge again. I think it's going to lower some aggression levels. So people, last lap, if they're trying to
Yeah.
get an
Dive
extra
bombing for the
position, are
win.
they really going to throw away a top five? Yeah. So the no more winning you're in, I think it brings us back to the early days when we started watching NASCAR. That, I mean, yeah, people got sick of, oh, they got out of the car and said good points day. Well, it's back and it's going to mean a lot more of an importance. So I think that's going to be a big change for the league. And like I said, you guys try to keep it authentic as possible. So you guys changed to the chase format. How do you feel about that, Scott?
I mean, honestly, I wrote down some notes. I knew that was a topic we were going to talk about, and everything that I wrote down is exactly what you just said. I think it's
Hmm.
going to make a lot of guys be a lot more patient. Like you said, at the end of the race, instead of dive bombing, I think is what Corey said, for to grab a position or to try to take the lead or whatever, those points are really important. So I
Hmm.
mean, it's I think it's going to create more. I mean, before with especially like in our league, you've got guys that typically they get on a roll, they get dominant, and last year is a perfect example of how the old way still worked because look who our champion
Hmm.
is over here, and see the trophy behind him. He won
Yeah.
some races, but there was some guys that won more races than him, and he peaked at
Mhm.
the right time. This is going to make you be at those racetracks at the last 10. You're still going to have to be consistent. I mean, winning obviously is going to give you the most points, but consistency is what's going to ultimately give you the trophy. Not just a
Mhm.
win. You may win and then the next week do something stupid and finish last. Well, guess what? Now you're out, or you're going from first or second in the points all the way down to fifth or sixth because everybody else had a good race and, finished top five or whatever the case may be. So I think it's going to drag some people back in that maybe wouldn't have had a chance before to win a championship with that format as long as they can make it in.
Mhm.
And of course in our league, you got to make all the races to make it in. So, or not all of them, but there's going to be some things that are going to come out with that as well, to where we're going to make it a little easier for people. But we'll let that come out a little later. But I like the format. And hey, the thing I
Mhm.
like about it the most is exactly what is on top of your head right there, right? Chase.
Yes, sir.
Chase, right? It's
Very
the
consistent.
chase.
Very
It's the
consistent.
chase.
Darn. Buckle up. Buckle up. Two-time champ coming your way. What are your thoughts about the format, Joe?
Honestly, I love it. Coming from a person that doesn't really get to survive most of the races, I'll go on a 9 DNF streak or something. I'm gonna really try to bump up my qualifying. So I think every qualifying run is gonna be tremendous. So if you're a bad qualifier and now you get caught up in the early race ordeals, it's really going to kill you. So I think a lot of people are going to focus on their qualifying speed and saving tire in the race because you don't know how the aggression is going to come down. So people are going to hopefully get more green flag runs. And hopefully it comes down to saving tire. So you're just not sliding around waiting for the stage break. You gotta work for it, especially those stage points. So I think people are gonna be a little bit more calculated and just less aggressive.
No, yeah, that's a good point. I actually didn't think about that. But yeah, that's a good point about qualifying. Start up front, finish up front. Just have a good solid day. Like it's gonna pay huge dividends. So yeah, what's your viewpoint, Jake?
I like it. I mean, I got my championship in the old format. Coming from Joey Logano fan, I kind of hated to see it go, especially on even years. Maybe just run it on even years. But no, I really do enjoy it. It just it makes you so much more consistent. Um, like Carl Edwards, he was so consistent, and he could have won that championship, but some yellow car spun him. But
Mm,
He did.
or the one with Tony Stewart, it was just he was so consistent. I think that's what makes me excited is to just run top 5, top 10 all year, and I'll have a chance.
mhm,
Even if I don't win, I'll have a chance at being consistent. I mean, like all the playoff races, I don't think I finished outside the top 5. So even if we didn't have the playoff format that we did,
mhm,
I would have had a really good shot at it either way. So for me, I have a new learning curve this year. It's my new wheel and pedals. My first race will be the Clash this weekend. So I'm a little nervous for the beginning of the year. So I definitely got to figure it out before it gets too far away. So I'm definitely going to try to keep top 16 in points on my radar. And but overall, I really do enjoy this new chase format. It just brings back the old style that I loved.
what's your viewpoint, Ennis? I know Jake and Joe. They doubled into the stage points. What's your take on the chase format?
First of all, I want to apologize. It was brought to my attention that I'm echoing in Discord, so I apologize. It's good on the stream though,
Oh,
so that's good.
yeah.
Look, we've all, I think most NASCAR fans have been waiting for this. Like when we went from the chase to this like playoff format, a lot of people were like, I don't know, like it's not football, it's not basketball, like the playoff system doesn't really work in motorsports. Yes, it brought a lot of attention and put on some great shows for those stage, like those last the rounds, like the end of a round,
Mhm.
people were fighting for those
The
spots, and
eliminations,
right,
yeah.
right. That was fun, but at the same time, like, you have people who like SVG. Look, I respect SVG. He's a fantastic road driver, but did he really deserve a spot in the playoffs? I think it could have gone to somebody that has a little more oval prowess. But I mean, this is gonna really show who's the most consistent, and winning races is gonna mean a lot. So I love it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good point, especially the whole like the winning you're in, like you're talking about. I want to say like the Austin Dillon or the Harrison Burton, like
Right.
they're just taking up spots, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it could very easily happen in the INRS. You get that one super speedway win, and now everyone's just throwing themselves to try to win a race to get in. Where you're not going to have to do that every week. Tame that aggression, and I think that if that aggression is tamed a little bit, a lot more people are going to race cleaner, smoother. But no, I think that's a good point, and I think we've all been through the chase format when it first started. I personally, I sort of have trauma with it because 2005, 2006, Case Kane was kicking butt, and then when he got to the chase, he fell flat off the face of the earth. So in my little world, Case Kane's a two-time NASCAR Cup champion, but
And Jeff Gordon's
anyways, they
7.
don't have the banners. Yeah, yeah. So no, you guys bring up great points. And I know we'll talk about our season preview for the Cup. We want to focus more about the INRS. So we talked about the season format. So since we talked about the season format, how about we start throwing some INRS Cup drivers' names out there? Top 3 championship contenders. Anyone want to start with their top 3? Who's on their radar?
I'll start.
Okay.
All
I'll start.
right, Jake, what you got?
You know, my top 3 is, for me, I don't know about the new drivers that came in, but these guys I think are pretty dominant. One won a championship last year. It's not me. So don't even get started. No, so I really enjoy racing these guys. They're always there, um, always at the front of the field. Um, so my first pick to win the championship, number one, is Mr. Jordan Wenzel. I
Mm,
think he is so consistent. You bring him to a road course, you can't find him. He's up front leading. Um, and he's really good on oval. It's just sometimes he gets caught up in small
mm-hmm,
things, but I really do think 26 is his year. That's my first pick. Second, we'll go with Lucas Gortman. I think he's very, very good wheelman.
mm-hmm.
Last year, I think his work schedule got changed or something, so he couldn't finish out the season with us. But I
Yeah, he
think he
smoked
can.
everyone at Darlington.
Yeah, I
Hard,
really
hard
think
track.
he can get it done. Um, he's pretty consistent. He's always up front. And I'll do third. I'm going to pick our Xfinity champ, Daffin. He's always up front in Xfinity.
Mm-hmm,
I was chasing him down all year. Uh, Still finished second, but he was just super consistent, super smooth, and really fast. No matter where we went, I don't really think
mm-hmm.
he had a bad track. So that's my top 3. I think they are well-rounded drivers, and I really think they all can get it done.
Yeah. Do you have a dark horse? You want to throw
Dark
someone
horse,
crazy out there? Dark horse, someone who's going to bring the heat in 2026 that's off the radar for you,
the radar. Let's
or would it be
see.
off the radar? I guess they're on the radar now. If you're gonna throw the dark horse
Yeah,
out
I
there.
mean, I think I have to go with Grady Gherkin. Um,
Mm,
I think he's another Xfinity guy moving up to Cup. But he's also really fast. I don't see him, have that many bad races. So he's usually consistent. I don't know how these guys drive the next gen car. To be honest,
mm-hmm.
it's a different beast than Xfinity because I couldn't drive the Xfinity, but I could drive the Cup. So I don't know.
Yep.
Um, so maybe they transition well and their consistency keeps them up front.
Yeah, that's good points. Yeah, good picks. So we'll go with the other twin. See if you guys had your twin telepathy. I don't know how to say it.
All right,
Um,
that's a word you can't say.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I got cotton mouth right now. I keep slamming my water, but I'm almost out, so I got to ration it. So, all right, Joe, who do you got? Who's your top 3? And throw us your
Yeah.
dark horse at the end.
So honestly, it's right along the same path Jake had. I got
Shocker.
Wenzel and Daffin,
Mm-hmm,
two probably the strongest drivers in the whole league. There was a couple other guys, but I don't think they're returning. And like
mm,
Jake said, the new guys, they have high I ratings. I've never seen them drive. Who knows? Um,
yeah.
so I can't really put them in there. I'm trying to not put any teammates, so it could be any bias. So I have number 3 is Jake's dark horse. Actually, I'm going with Grady Gherkin for my third
Mm,
pick. He's every year in Xfinity, he's in the final 4. He's either winning the championship or getting second. So he's a heck of a driver. Um, so I'm excited to see him in Cup, especially him and Daffin and Daffin's teammate Torres. They're all in the Cup Series now. So if all these new guys coming in are fast, we're gonna have a killer Cup Series. So make sure
mm-hmm.
you guys check it out on Thursdays. Um, Dark Horse, man, it's hard. A lot of people got to be consistent. I think one of the more consistent drivers is I'm gonna have to go with Garrett Walden. Uh,
Mm.
I think he's sneaky. He's always up there, and I think he's just gonna surprise a lot of people and be more consistent than most.
Hey, good solid picks. I mean, both of you guys picked Dafflin. It's hard to not pick the reigning O'Reilly series
Oh yeah,
champion. I mean,
I bet.
he had
O'Reilly.
a yeah. Yep. He had a great season last year, so if he can easily transition it over to the Cup Series, he's got a good teammate coming with him, and Torres, Joe. Sorry if I butchered it. So with them hooking up in the Xfinity last year and then to the Cup Series, see how well that can translate. But yeah, we'll give it to Scott. Who do you have?
Well, going third, of course, they've already stole a couple of my peeps, but
Yeah,
I
it's
tell
all
you
right.
the
Repeat
guy,
them.
yeah, the guy that I had circled at the top, as consistent as he was, Xfinity then, but Lucas, Lucas
Hmm.
is such a smooth driver. He's one of those drivers. He makes it look so easy. And you watch a replay or like during practice, I'll watch and I'm like, how is he making that look so smooth? And you can't even come close to it. He's just to
Hmm.
me, he's just such a smooth driver. But I had him. I had Jordan. Obviously, Jordan's going to win every road course. And that's going to give him all the points he needs with all the other, top fives he's going to get. So, I got to pick my man Wenzel. Third, I'm sticking with Jake. Um,
Oh, thank you.
I Mr. Be at the right place at the right time. I don't know how in the world, there was several races that, he gets shuffled back, and next thing you know, he's up in the top three again. I'm just like, how in the heck
Oh,
does he
you
keep doing
you
that?
should have heard him in the Discord. You'd think he was dead last.
Yeah, he's got a few nicknames out there. So watch Corey
You know,
stream, write some nicknames down. You'll learn fast.
oh yeah, there you go. But I mean, last year's champion. I mean, how can you not pick the guy, right?
Hmm.
Dark horse, and I feel like this guy, not just because we're on the stream. To me, I think this guy is so super fast. Sometimes he just kind of gets in his own way and causes some issues. And there's been some other guys that have rubbed him a little bit. But man, I'm gonna tell you, Corey is fast. So dark horse, I'm picking Corey. I think you're gonna make the championship.
Definitely.
Um, and I think you're gonna be there. And if you can stay out of your own way, man, I think you'll have a good shot. And that's my
those
problem. I'll never be able to stay out of my own way.
those
So
four
I'll
tire
never
pit stops, man,
never
they get
be
me
up
every
there.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah,
I appreciate that a lot.
yeah.
Um,
And while we're on the topic, I mean, I know he's in the stream. He's our teammate. Corey he brought us to a new level. Jake has brought us to a new level. I don't want to speak for Joe, but we got in the league. Those guys were fast, and year two. I mean, Jake, he had multiple wins. Ennis, he had a
one,
win or two.
one. Should have had
One.
three, but
Okay.
we won't talk about
Should have
that.
had three, but they're just elevating us. I don't race a lot, and Joe, he's racing everything all week from dirt to cup. So it's gonna be hard to be consistent on that. So he's just trying to race everything, anything, road, oval, dirt. But he's gotten significantly better. But those two guys, like Corey, really helped us with the new wheel, the new setup, and then it was just like a light switch. I think it was Texas. Before you know it, he's qualifying up there, and then he's there, and then he's going to squeak out some wins. So I'll give him props there. And then I think you're ready, so we'll hear your top three, Ennis, and throw your dark horse in there.
Speaking of which, we have a 24-hour Rolex champion in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes. How
Yeah.
could I forget?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
recent,
Well,
recent
most of
24-hour
mine,
teammate.
most of mine were taken. Obviously, I had Jordan Wenzel. Naturally,
Mhm.
we call him the road course king, but he's gotten better at everything else also, and he's always top five. If he's not winning, I mean, he's in the top five or he's wrecked. That's pretty
Mhm.
much. If he's not in the top five, he's probably gotten wrecked. So he's up there for sure. Lucas, definitely. Exactly what Scott said. He's just very consistent. He
Mhm.
doesn't miss.
Absolute wheel man.
For
Yep.
sure. Obviously, there's a couple guys like I think Joe said. There's a couple new guys that we don't know that have high I ratings. I have no idea, so I can't say anything for them. I'm expecting some great competition from them. But I think I'm gonna pick Kai Collimore. That's one. He was in the league. I think what was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think 2 years
Um,
when we first started.
But that guy, he didn't just disappear. He's been racing a lot.
Yep.
I've seen it. I believe he's good friends with Jordan Booth actually. Jordan taught me personally. Shout out to Jordan. He taught me a lot of things. And right after that is when I actually started to get the hang of things and started getting better. And I think Kai has picked up a lot of that.
Mhm.
He's very consistent, and I think he's going to be a legitimate threat in the championship. I almost said playoffs, but you know.
Yeah, he's part of that 40XI Academy bunch. If you're new to the league, new to the podcast, you're gonna hear that name Jordan Booth mentioned a lot. Not only does he come and win a lot, but he does do a lot of stuff off the track to help a lot of drivers, get them better up to speed. Easy guy to talk to. He's very witty, so he's a fun guy to have around. So he's been a huge contribution to the league, even if he isn't running every week. So Kaya was part of that 40XI Academy. But yeah, those are some good drivers. Did you say your dark horse? Did I miss it, or was Kai your dark horse?
I think Kai was my dark horse. Was I supposed to pick 4?
No, I sort of threw the dark horse in there because I picked 3. Then I'm like, actually, I want to throw in some like dark horses, roundable mentions. I went more on stats based. It's so these stats that I'm like going all off of. It's right before the playoffs started last year. So this was out of 25 to 26 races. Obviously Jordan Wetzel. It's going to be hard. I mean, at the point before the playoffs. So the first 26 weeks, he ran 25 races. He had 5 wins, 17 top fives, 18 top tens. He had 467 laps led, and which is huge, is 166 stage points. So I think this is going to be new with the format because when we grew up with the chase, it was just a chase. Now you have the addition of stage points. So not only can you go dominate a race and get 55 points, you can actually go and get 65 points on top of that if you really take the stage seriously and rack up them points. My second one, and he might be my favorite for all 3 series for the truck, the O'Reilly, and the Cup. If he runs full schedules for all 3, I think he might have a good chance of sweeping all of it. That's gonna be Tyler Lem. He really turned it on last year. He was really strong all year. Stats at 26 races really didn't show it, but he had 1 win, 8 top fives, 18 top tens, 119 laps led, and 73 stage points. He's just always there. So usually I see him when he's passing me or, or lapping me, or if I'm getting my lucky dog back. But I think he's going to be really, really solid this year. My third, I'm going to go Garrett Waldron. He ran 24 races out of the 26. He had 7 top fives, 14 top tens, and 25 laps led. But he was one of the drivers who almost made it in the championship for. Um, so I think he's going to have a strong year. He's another one that he races all year. So he's running all year. He's staying sharp. He's running different leagues, different races, different cars. Um, so I think he's one to watch for. I actually have my dark horses. I couldn't pick one, so I have 3. Call them what
Oh,
honorable mentions, dark
corners.
horses or whatever.
Dark
I'm
corners.
I'm undecided. I'm
Party
undecided.
foul.
But one of my dark horses was Kai. Um, I don't want to butcher his last name, but Kai Collymore. Sorry, you can DM me and correct me and make fun of me. But yeah, when we first started, like the 40XI guys, they were fast. I don't know if it was his life schedule, he couldn't make all the races or anything like that, but every time he showed up, he was right there with Jordan, so he was fast. So he puts in a full season. He's going to be one to watch for.
Yeah,
I have one.
he was 18 years old, so he
Mm,
has matured a couple of years. So
oh yeah,
you guys are
that
right.
will help. That will help. Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully he can run the full schedule and see what he can do. One of the drivers that I have for the Cup, I think it's his first year in the Cup. He ran the O'Reilly last year. He's doing it. Matt Wheeler. I think he was pretty solid last year, really consistent. It seemed like he was always in the top 5. I mean, I know we were always watching Alec or even Jake sometimes win or be up front, but he was right there. So if he can be nice and consistent, I think he's got a good shot if he can take all the skills from the Xfinity car to the Cup car. I think he's got a good shot to be consistent towards the end. And then my main dark horse, I think this is coming from a personal experience of knowing how aggressive and hard he races, and it's hard to get by him. And he's always there. He's always around me. He had some bad luck last year, but I'm gonna go Vince Burns. He seems to have really strong finishes. He's reminds me of Ryan Newman. He's very hard to get around.
Exactly.
Uh,
That's what Josh and I call him. Like, oh God, here's Ryan
yeah.
Newman.
And with all the people, people can be aggressive. I can be aggressive and not be able to control the car and stuff. But he's one that's aggressive where he can control his stuff. He'll race you clean, but he'll race you hard. So I think with everything going on, and he gets few good qualifying runs, and he gets up front, it's going to be hard to get around him. And we know with this car, it is hard to pass. So I have him on my radar just for my personal experience. So I think I think he might be one to watch for. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait to get this season started and see who rises to the top. But to start the season, we have to talk about this clash. No,
For sure.
yeah. So it's going to be. I don't know if it's the first annual, but this is going to be the Mosh
Yeah,
Customs
second.
Clash.
Yep.
Second, all right. Second annual is the Mosh Customs Clash. It's going to be Saturday the 31st at 7:30. You want to talk more about that, Scott? I don't know if we still are having people enter.
Yeah. So there's a lot of guys that are already in the Cup uh, league, but they're not in the actual Mosh Customs League. So you're gonna have to go and just put your application in there, and he'll get you approved. Now this is for all series, so it's not just for Cup. It's for Cup, Truck, and O'Reilly. So anybody that
Okay.
wants to join, come on. That's the way he's put it together. In the past, we have done a clash, and of course, we would follow NASCAR, but the Coliseum was not the best race ever. And I think you
Hmm.
guys were in it before. It was a complete wreck fest, very similar to Martinsville. Um, so yeah, he's been putting this on for a couple of years. Just takes a little bit off of us, lets him, kind of show some of his schemes and some of the things that he likes to do. So we appreciate Mike for that. And I think he's got some prizes as well. And I think you guys had those written down.
Yeah. So Mike, he gave me probably my favorite paint I'll ever have on racing or on iRacing. I could tell I'm a big Casey Kane fan. My favorite paint scheme is the 2004 Mopar car. So for what was it? Last year's throwback, he made a Mustang that looked identical to the 2004 Mopar car, and I loved it. Wasn't able to race it, but it's there. Hopefully, I could probably pull up a picture. But he is great with the paint schemes. I know we do our own paints. We try. We're a bunch of GIMP guys where he's a master of Photoshop, and he makes a whole bunch of great stuff. He transitioned from making personal die-cast cars. So he'll print out the graphics, he'll make it, he'll put it on the car, and he'll send them out. I know he just did one for Jordan Wenzel. And I think the year before that, he did it to the Cup champion Jordan Booth. So he's got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of good paint schemes. I think this is really cool. He's putting out some prizes too. So first place, it's the event win trophy. I don't know if it's going to be similar to Jake's championship trophy, but it's going to be a legit trophy, so it's pretty cool. Second, it's going to be 50% off any custom diecast. Third is going to be a free custom paint, which I said he makes awesome paints. He does a lot of good throwbacks. I think every year he'll be winning the throwback paint contest for INRS. He does have a best paint award, and that's going to reward them with a $10 credit towards a paint or a die cast. Like I said, I've been a customer, and I can't wait to have the RAM scan because I don't know if you guys are going to guess what kind of Mopar schemes I'm going to have on a RAM, but I already have that deposited ready to go. So probably the only paint scheme I'll run on the Ram. Very excited for that. And then he's even got a prize for the pole winner. So if you win the pole, you lead the field to green. So that's that's a nice nice, nice, nice prize to win the pole. You might, and this is not at the Clash. What track was it at again?
Auto
Auto
Club.
Club.
Yeah.
Auto Club. Love Auto Club. Rest in peace. You know, I
Absolutely.
wish it would have stayed, but so yeah, if you're not a short track guy, you don't know if you want to come in the league yet, you got some friends that want to join, like Auto Club's an awesome, awesome track. So I think it'd be a great place to just jump in, get your toes wet, you know, maybe you want a free paint. You know, if I was available, I'd probably do everything I can to get that free Mopar truck, but I can't. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for us. We're getting ramped up for the INRS season. Like I said, it's Saturday, January 31st. I think racing starts right around 7:50. I don't think it's broadcasted, but if you join, I know Corey here, he's going to be streaming on Twitch. We'll drop his Twitch link down in the comments. So give him a, whether are they subs? I'm not a big Twitch guy.
Follow.
Follow,
Follow,
sub,
sub,
something
whatever
like
you
that.
feel like.
If you want to come into the video, donate him $100. That'd be pretty cool. You know, do it. You guys won't.
I did say that. I
Kind
didn't
of
say
thing.
it.
No, no promotion. We're not running ads, nothing like that. YouTube, it's fine. But yeah, we're gonna try to keep this weekly. Do the Lucky Dogs podcast on YouTube as well. So it'd be us four talking about the Cup Series as well. We'll try to do a race review each week for that. We'll try to do some paint schemes. I know we have a few videos of NASCAR trading card unboxings, so that's pretty cool. But for the INRS section, we're going to try to make this the home for the 2026 INRS podcast. So slap that like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever the YouTubers say. Like I said, this is our first video, so feel free to critique us. You know, we got thick skin. It's going to be funny. We're going to try to have a lot of drivers on, get everyone involved in the community. Great guys in the INRS community. So it'd be a lot of fun to make more friends, get everyone, you know, happy and go lucky before we start turning each other into the walls and, and stuff. So I don't know if you guys have anything more to add, any more hype about the Clash, the season, anything you guys want to say?
I think we
I had
hit
one
just
more
about.
thing.
I
Yeah,
did.
just one more thing I wanted to, on my back of my piece of paper right here. I just
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
joining any of the series for the iNASCAR racing series. A lot of people don't understand what the INRS is, but that's the name that we came up with because we wanted to be, just like NASCAR. So obviously the I stands for iRacing, but the rest of it makes perfect sense. So iNASCAR Racing Series. Last year we gave out over $2,000 in payouts, plus the trophies, which you can see right there in the corner of Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's. Yeah, look at there. Yeah, champion,
Yeah,
Cup
maybe.
Series champion.
I don't know if you can see it in the
Um,
light.
so we do also have the Crown Jewel champion as well. It's $500. The Crown Jewels, of course, the Daytona 250, Coke 300, the Brickyard, the Southern 250, and then of course you got the Yellowwood, which is the Talladega Fall Race.
Mm-hmm.
So win 3 of these, you get a $500 check from the INRS. Actually, it'll probably come from Cash App or PayPal, whatever works for you. So, but we have a lot of incentives to join, and it's 100% payout. We don't keep any of the money. It all goes back into the league. And of course, Cup is broadcast every week, except for I think a couple of the road courses. We are going to broadcast the naval base as long as iRacing releases it. We're hearing that they will.
Mm.
So other than that, I think there'll just be a couple of races that are not broadcast. Every race will be broadcast on YouTube on the IWM broadcast network. So yeah, appreciate you guys putting this thing together. This is going to be an awesome addition, to the INRS with the you know everything that you guys are doing right here with the podcast. So appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we appreciate you letting us take a stab at it, see what we can do, how goofy we'll get. I don't know. But yeah, it's a huge point. I mean, who doesn't love racing, being on YouTube, and earning money as well? So that's really cool. But yeah, we're getting excited for it. Oh, Ennis, did you have anything you wanted to say, or I know we all talked at once.
Oh no, I was saying that I thought we hit everything we wanted to get to. But I'm glad Scott got that in there. I'm glad you came on, dude. It's really cool to have you.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
for being our
appreciate the
first
invite.
guest, and yeah,
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for being our first guest and learning learning with us. But yeah, that's a big point. We'll try to help promote as we can, and really looking forward to it. Joe, Jake, you guys got anything, or
I'm
everybody
all
good
No,
to
I'm
good.
go?
good. Yeah, I'm good.
Good to go. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have Corey's Twitch stream link down in the comments. So give him a follow. He's gonna be streaming 3 times a week. You know, he's got the truck, the O'Reilly, the Cup. He's got a pretty cool show going there. We're gonna drop the IWM broadcast network link in there, so you guys can follow that as well on YouTube. So we'll you guys got a Facebook page, right? INRS Facebook, easy to find.
Yes, sir.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, yep. So find them on Facebook. I don't know if I can put the link on there. We're all new to YouTube,
You can do the
but
Discord link to see if people join up and see what they want to do.
yep, could do that and do the Discord link, get people in there. It's pretty self-explanatory. You see the numbers that are available. They have the channels where you can put the payment, and the schedule is already released. Beautiful graphics done by Mike. Can't wait to have him on. But yeah, if you guys are interested, give him a look, give him a shout, and then we'll hope to see you on track.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah,
Have a good
thanks.
night, Scott.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on. All right, so yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for our first video. Like I said, this is our first video, so thanks for hanging out, and hopefully we can polish it up. But we are ready for the INRS 2026
Hell yeah.
Championship Quest.
We'll be racing Saturday.
Oh.
Live.
Yeah, Saturday.
What, 8 o'clock?
Live.
7:50.
Yeah, 7:50.
Well, why
I
my
think,
my
but-
video froze? Is that me froze or is that the
Yeah,
screen?
that's you.
That's you.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta throw that
Yeah.
MPI wheel up.
yeah. But all right, yeah. So can't wait to see you guys on track. Thanks for watching.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
See you guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
See ya.